We are at the finale of the Dark Side story in Sonic Adventure 2.
Oh, hey, it's the best mech level.
Yeah, in all of the adventure games, this is the best mech level.
Because it brings back the floaty jump Gamma had.
Gamma ain't this floaty.
And that's why this level's better.
Honestly, the fucking level design here, pretty fucking basic. But who cares?
It's fun.
It's fun.
You're at the Arc, man. It's aesthetic.
Yeah, these, according to Sonic X Shadow Generations, these random floating blue buildings in a void that are like adjacent to the Space Colony Arc somewhere.
Not just under the Arc.
Yeah, not just attached to the Arc because they're buildings coming off the face of it. No, not that. Definitely not that. But anyways, yeah, this is Cosmic Wall. Pretty fun stage. It's not nearly my favorite stage in the game. I am still like 50-50 on whether or not I prefer Weapons Gate to this. But I do think, like, honestly, I think Mission Street's also a pretty good contender for mech stages. I just think that has really fun platforming in it. Yeah,
I really can't say enough. I can't really say anything 'cause I don't play any non-speed stage enough, and I really don't play the speed stages enough, apparently.
You don't.
To have a proper opinion about these games.
Well, no, you've played it more than once. You can fucking talk about your experience with it. I just give you shit because you're not as good as me. But that's with every Sonic game, so it's fine.
So I'm waiting for Heroes.
Which I'm still better than you at. I don't care what you say, I'm better than you at Sonic Heroes.
You just can't let me have anything. My goodness.
I will give you, you are better at consistently getting S ranks in Sonic Unleashed. Because I play more for speed in that game. See, I gave you something. Can't say I never gave you anything.
So anyways, to bring up the moon again.
Alright. Stop the recording, we're restarting.
Oh, I forgot this has a rail section.
Yeah, it has a rail shooter section. It's kind of like a one of those arcade on rails kind of shooters. I was trying to think of a better way to describe it other than just shooters, but there we go.
And Shadow the Hedgehog has this too in the Arc levels. Go figure.
You know what? I never once thought of that. I never once was like, oh yeah, this shit is from Sonic Adventure 2 when I played Shadow the Hedgehog. All I thought of was, damn, this is fucking slow and annoying. Which, to be fair, these rail sections are way better in this game than in Shadow the Hedgehog. But I'm just surprised I never thought of that.
Iizuka is the best director at referencing old stuff.
Yeah, and I was going to talk about this a minute ago. Sonic Adventure 2 also has mechs that you can jump into, and they're pretty much the mech gameplay from these games, just shittier. So, it's pretty neat.
Yeah. Shadow is every element Shadow uses from this game is like this, but shitty.
Except having more interesting A to B level design.
No.
Yeah.
Non-linear does not mean more interesting.
It's not non-linear, it's very linear. It's just better.
So anyways, moving on, because I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Okay, well, what do you want to talk about then?
I don't know. I have a topic. What were you going to say?
No, we're not talking about Shadow the Hedgehog. We'll get to Shadow the Hedgehog eventually, and I'll sing the praises of that game for the entire playthrough. Unless, you know, my playthrough goes really bad, and then I'm just like very angry at the game. But I don't think that'll happen because I love Shadow the Hedgehog, and Shadow the Hedgehog loves me.
In a perfect world, I'll have played that whole game again to have a better opinion by then.
There really isn't that much to play.
No, there isn't, but like I just play the levels, man, and I have no desire to replay them and actually learn.
Well, I mean, that's kind of like a part of it is sort of just doing like a playthrough of the game from start to finish. Just one of the 10 different pathways, you know? Just kind of similar to how you would like replay a classic Sonic game, but as a different character or, you know, something like that. That's kind of how I treat Sonic Adventure 2. I don't really treat it like other 3D Sonic games where I'm, you know, replaying specific stages for better times.
But that's how I treat every Sonic game, even the classics. I learned those because of level selects. Now I'll play them more traditionally. But not when I first learned them. I got to replay levels and memorize them.
Then I'm kind of surprised you don't like Superstars as much, because Superstars is like better as a time trial game. You just haven't done the time attacks and time trials for that game.
Or Shadow Gens. I just don't really play the newer games that much.
Well, I mean, yeah, part of it is I just don't have as much time as I used to sink like 700 hours into a Sonic game.
Is this the longest base stage in the game? Not including Cannon Score?
Well, you might include Mad Space. Or Meteor Herd.
That's random though on its time, so it's hard to predict.
Yeah, but generally it is like the biggest treasure hunting stage and the most annoying to navigate, and the clues don't really help you. So it generally lasts a lot longer than other treasure hunting stages. But yeah, if we want to go with non-random factors, then yeah, definitely this stage. Honestly, it's why I really like Final Rush a whole lot. It's like it's a speed stage, but it's also like just really, really long and pretty tough. But surprisingly, Final Chase, as we're gonna see here in a bit, is not very long. It's about average for these speed stages.
Kind of makes Final Rush the closest thing we have to a Shadow Gens level. Until Shadow Gens.
Yeah, because Shadow Gens kind of feels like a low-key Sonic Adventure game in its level design. So
better.
Yeah. Shadow Gens is unquestionably a better game than both adventure games. We discussed this a few times already, but the boost gameplay, especially how it's utilized in Shadow Gens and Frontiers, is really not that different from Sonic Adventure gameplay. You just have a button that consistently lets you go fast, rather than the spin dash, which you have to spam to go fast. But other than that, they're
the spin dash and
similar.
Dash pads.
Well, dash pads work pretty much the same. Like, Shadow the Hedgehog doesn't have shit like the ramps in the speed stages of this game or whatever, but actually, yeah, it does. In specific sections with the surf ability, but well, no, it actually does just straight up have them in like Radical Highway. So never mind. I have completely forgotten Shadow the Gens apparently. But I don't know, like just how people always talk about how the boost formula is so radically different from what we had in the adventure games, but I just disagree. I don't think it is that different. I think it obviously has different physics behind it, but in terms of like just beating a stage, it's very, you know, homing attack this, go to the automated sequence.
Well, something to appreciate about Heroes is it still has the ranking system, but feels so consistently different.
Yeah. Heroes' levels are probably, weirdly enough, some of the most classic feeling level designs in a 3D Sonic game. Because it has like little design mentalities that like Sonic 2 has and stuff, where they have trap springs, where if you're not, paying attention and you're just holding right, you're gonna hit a spring and get bounced back or whatever. And it has like little reaction challenges of like jumping right in time to hit like a upper path or whatever. You don't really see that in a lot of other 3D Sonic games.
I mean, I'll kind of disagree. I think it just feels unique. I wouldn't call it classic feeling, but I see where you're coming from.
I don't mean it feels like one-to-one classic Sonic. I'm just saying it has probably the closest to classic Sonic level design in a 3D Sonic game. But it does in general just feel very different because it has its own mechanics and whatever. Anyway, Sonic is dying again. And if you play this story first, you don't know that he survived until he shows up to fight Shadow.
This game is really funny. This game is so funny.
Why is Eggman's scope like skewed like that? Like, why is it stretched?
I'm glad in the IDW comics, when they give Eggman a gun, it's just a straight up clock from like Shadow instead of this goofy ass thing.
It's definitely funnier seeing Eggman hold like a P90,
like a real gun. All I can every time I see Eggman with a gun, all I can think of is the fucking clip from the Game Apologist, where he says, "And Eggman pulls out a Glock and ice his tails."
Dude, Eggman, like, okay, well, that boss went by so fucking fast. But something nobody really talks about is actually the fact that Eggman is a very strong character, like physically very strong. In Sonic Riders, he's a power character, and you see him punching shit away from his car the same way Knuckles does and shit.
Dude, I also think about, once again, IDW, when he just grabs
Starline
and just
him.
fucking starts strangling him, and it's like, oh my goodness.
Yeah. He's kind of a fucking menace, but he never uses that strength. He's always using his machines, which, to be fair, his machines are definitely stronger than he is. But still, it's kind of funny that he can just, like, no diff more basic Sonic characters. Like, Amy in these early games, he could probably fucking swat Amy away with no issues. Because, Amy's just kind of a girl in these early games.
I like this cutscene a lot.
This is probably the most interesting story point in Sonic Adventure 2 that nobody really talks about.
Because all of its points and implications are retconned or just not properly done. I also love the music switch here. It's so cool.
Yeah. I just love the implication that Shadow is not the original Shadow. Like, whether or not you actually believe that, I just find it an interesting possibility,
Yeah, it's up in the air. The only thing we do know is that this one has some kind of fake memory. Either implanted into the real one or built into an android.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't even have to be an android. This could just be Gerald recreating his Shadow, just with altered memories.
Mm-hmm.
And I just find that interesting, and I kind of dislike how they've hard retconned it entirely.
Have they though?
Well, yeah,
because I even looked at the official timeline earlier, and I looked at the SA2 part, and it says Amy helps Shadow regain his true memories. This is from a translation, of course, so take that as you will. But I like to think that part's still there. And Gerald Robotnik is truly the villain of this game.
I'm not saying that they hard retconned Shadow's memories being altered. I'm saying that they've fully gone out of their way and said, no, this is the original Shadow who existed on the Ark all those years ago. They've absolutely for 100% certainty confirmed that. And you know what? It's like whatever, because I thought that anyways. I just kind of like that there was the possibility that he wasn't. But now that possibility just kind of doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. There's just no ambiguity, which, I mean, it's fine for the most part because there's ambiguity in other areas, which I think is better. But
yeah. Also, hey, worst speed stage in the whole game.
I like it.
Honestly,
I have zero defense. All I can say is I do like this stage.
Well, my only real issue with it is that it's just kind of glitchy. You know, it's like it's got a higher level of jank than the rest of the game, but that doesn't mean this is a bad stage. I like the level design in this. There's lots of higher level paths that are harder to stay on, and stuff like that. I love that shit. And you know what? It's still Sonic Adventure 2 gameplay, so it's still fun. I just find this to be the one that I replay the least, honestly.
I mean, it's still gonna be Crazy Gadget for me, but just because that stage is like, wonky as hell. I mean, I still like that stage as well, but due to the fact that I play this more, I gotta call it better than that.
Honestly, I never really thought about comparing this with Crazy Gadget, and you might be right. I think that one might actually be the weakest speed stage in the game. I really like that stage still, but it is kind of just like hallways, and then you have a big gravity platforming section that's like pretty jank, and that's the entire stage.
It also hurts that this stage has probably the worst speed music in the game. I'm not a big fan of this track.
Yeah. And it sucks because this is one of the only other tracks by that composer, right?
Fumiya Kimitani, yeah. You got his main theme. You got White Jungle, BioLizard, and this. And that's it. Yeah. So, 4 out of 5. I think that's a pretty good track record.
It's a B.
5 out of 6. If you want to let the Speed Mend It a Shadow track in disguise. Because of one slight lyrical connection.
Dude, for the longest time, because like nobody online talked about that shit, I was like, why does it sound the same as Throw It All Away?
I mean, it is for sure just a mistake, I'm going to say, because Let the Speed Mend It...
You think it's a mistake?
Let the Speed Mend It is not by the same composer.
I don't think that
she does, though she does also work on Secret Rings, so maybe, just maybe.
I feel like it could just be a reference to the track. It's, you know, it sounds way too similar to me.
Maybe.
For it to be a mistake.
Maybe it was a cut track from 06, intended for a Shadow level.
Well, no, because it's, I don't know, it still sounds, like a Sonic-y Throw It All Away to me. In my opinion. That's how I always interpreted it.
I don't know. We'll never know. All we know is the connection's there. And, yeah.
Also, this stage is a little longer than I gave it credit for, but...
City Escape, because it's like the connection between City Escape and that one song from Sonic 3.
Yeah, Endless Mine. Yeah, I don't like that last jump there. It's a little janky sometimes. I recommend just letting go of the analog stick and just timing your jump.
It's like trying to do the jumps when you're running down the castle in Hang Castle at the end. Which is pretty jank
that section's
as well.
Super jank. They have like this artificial gravity pulling you toward the wall, but it doesn't work right.
Yeah, so you still fall when you jump.
Yeah.
It's as janky as the special stage is. I feel like it's the same programming.
Yeah, that shit to me just kind of proves that the hero's physics engine is still based on the physics engine from this and Adventure 1, despite them having a new graphical engine.
And for some reason, people still say Heroes is more glitchy. I feel like it's as glitchy, or slightly less.
I feel like it's less glitchy, and it has its own set of glitches.
At the same time.
Yeah. It has its own set of glitches, but it's overall less buggy than SA1 and 2, especially SA1. But both SA1 and 2 are like about as janky as like 06.
Oh yeah,
a
I guess this
completely
is another
broken
one of the
game.
tracks. I forgot about this one.
Oh right, I forgot. I like this track a lot.
Yeah, he even gets a slight cutscene remix in the cutscene there, which is cool.
Yeah. That cutscene as well, we didn't really touch on it last time. Probably just one of the most iconic scenes in all of Sonic. I love it.
Yeah,
No,
I can say it's done pretty well even in this game's shitty presentation.
Yeah. It's just like you really get like to see the mirrored image of Sonic and Shadow, how they're very, very similar to one another. And Sonic just kind of describing himself to Shadow, and Shadow giving him more respect and stuff.
Yeah.
I really like it. I really like that scene.
Yeah.
This fight, though, kind of weak.
We brought up Shadow potentially not being implied to not be the original Ultimate Life Form.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I'm glad that it's retconned only in the sense that I don't like the idea of Sonic being the Ultimate Life Form. I like the idea of Shadow potentially being based off the mural from Angel Island, but I don't like Sonic being the Ultimate Life Form because, I don't know. It just doesn't sit right with me. It's like, oh, well, that's dumb.
Well, it's not like a title that Sonic would wear. Like, Sonic would not go around being like, I'm the ultimate.
No, he doesn't.
know.
He doesn't need to. But just having that title, like, in any way, shape, or form, I don't like it.
Well, I think like Shadow says that, but he's not being like, you're the true ultimate life form. He's just saying, Sonic, you are better than me. Like, that's the implication with his quote there.
And it's a good thing he lost his memories.
But
because
it's
I don't
also,
like Shadow saying that.
Well, I mean, Shadow did die and Sonic didn't. So
But he didn't die.
I know, but he passed the fuck out and fell to Earth or whatever.
Because he did all the work and clearly Sonic did nothing.
People like to say that Shadow like passed out and he like quote unquote died at the end of this game because this is his first time using his super form.
Yes. There's that too.
But that is a very like Dragon Ball ass explanation to it. And I think the implication this game is actually going for is that Shadow is a fake Sonic in every way. He uses air skates to go fast. He, he has to have these inhibitor rings that limit his power because if he didn't, then he would, go out of control and like.
Are those even a
die or
detail
whatever.
in this game?
Well, no, but it's. I shouldn't have brought that point up. Whatever. You get what I'm saying though. Shadow is supposed to be like both a dark reflection of Sonic, but also just kind of a fake Sonic. Sonic, obviously wouldn't, like I was saying, go around saying, I'm the ultimate life form. I'm the strongest there is.
Yeah. It's one of those things where
it's
if this were the only game with Shadow, I think that would be fine. But because he's brought back in later stuff, I like that he is for sure the ultimate life form. And a lot of that stuff is dropped.
Well, either way, the title of ultimate life form is still just a title given by a scientist who created a bioweapon. It doesn't really have meaning. Shadow is not the strongest character in Sonic. That would be Sonic. Sonic is just the best by default. Mm-hmm. So it's like the title. I'm just arguing the title of the ultimate life form doesn't matter. Like.
And I mean that is consistent though throughout the game. It's just like Heroes doesn't even really care. It doesn't even bring it up at all. And Shadow the Hedgehog, by the end of that game in the final story, he's like, I don't really care. That's who I maybe was, but it's not who I'm going to continue to, or I can continue to be that, but it's more title.
he kind of uses that phrase, "I'm the ultimate life form," more as like a Batman-esque scare tactic against his enemies.
Yeah, like in '06 when he goes up against Mephiles. That's when he says, "I am the ultimate life form." Shadow the Hedgehog as a kind of ultimate way of saying, "I really don't care if the humans betray me and go after me. I'm the ultimate fucking life form. I will fuck their shit
Yeah,
up."
it's more him displaying his confidence than anything.
And that's just awesome. That is badass.
And I like that. I don't think him calling Sonic the ultimate life form was, like I said, him passing the title along to him. I think that was more just
Yeah. Wasn't
know.
it also a mistranslation? Or am I thinking of something else?
No, that Shadow does say Sonic is the ultimate life form.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
This is really funny.
Listen, I missed the shit like this. This Y2K ass fucking
No,
franchise.
this isn't even a Y2. That part isn't even Y2K. That is 90s OVA trailers.
Yeah, and you know
It's
what?
awesome.
I miss that shit.
I do too.
It's
It's just goofy though.
I miss when Sonic felt more like an anime in that sort of way, where it has like these big emotional shits and whatever.
Hasn't
else going
since
on.
'06. Unleashed is. I don't even know how to describe Unleashed. That's its own beast, and we'll ignore that for now because we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, Unleashed is its own thing, and then Frontiers, they definitely tried to feel a little more anime, but they kind of just did it in the look, Sonic is a Super Saiyan, he's doing cool anime punches and stuff kind of way. Which, you know what, that's cool in its own way.
Da, 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 da.
But break down it all.